Greetings, Aquarius and Aquarius rising. This is your Western forecast for April 2024. There are three important planetary events that could make a real impact on your life. First of all, there is a new moon solar eclipse in the sign of Aries on April the 8th. Eclipses often bring in a lot of adjustments, changes, and it's in your third house, so we're going to look more deeply in that. But the other big planetary event is Mercury. Decision-making Mercury goes retrograde April the 1st till April the 25th. And so this goes along with the eclipse is putting a spotlight on some necessary changes, and then your decision-making Mercury being retrograde, also in Aries, in the same sector as the eclipse. And with the Mercury in retrograde, a time of revising, rethinking, readjusting. So that goes well with each other. And the other big planetary event is Jupiter, expansive, lucky Jupiter, is going to align with Uranus. Uranus is the planet of innovation, technology, progress. So about every 13 to 14 years, expansive Jupiter aligning with Uranus could indicate some real breakthroughs. For the world, this could be breakthroughs in science, technology, medical advancements. For the individual, that Jupiter-Uranus could be some sudden windfalls of money and luck and job opportunities. So before I break down now how all three of those events could make a real impact on your life, if you enjoy these kinds of videos and would like to see more of them, click like and subscribe. And don't forget to click on the notification bell so you can receive the latest postings. And if you go into the description box underneath the video, you'll find a direct link to sign up for a free daily message or to book an astrology reading. All right. The new moon solar eclipse is in Aries. The sun is in Aries from March the 21st approximately till April the 19th. Wherever the sun is shining is where your attention is being drawn to. What is your priority? What's your focus? By the new moon, which this time it's a solar eclipse because we have a new moon every 4 weeks, but every 6 months the new moon becomes a solar eclipse, which is basically a new moon on steroids. What I mean by that is a regular new moon is just drawing your attention to a particular area of life for that next month. But if you have a solar eclipse and it's impacting a planet in your chart, the impact can last for 6 months to a year. Now, this solar eclipse is in Aries. Aries is 3 signs past Aquarius. The third house sector is the sector of communications, of learning, of writing, speaking, classes, selling. And so with the eclipse, it's bringing in some very significant changes with communications. You may be learning how to communicate differently. You may be deciding you need to get more professional training, go back to school. There could also be some unexpected encounters on a personal level. The third house deals with siblings or your close neighbors. Now, this solar eclipse can take 30 to 60 days to start really revealing where it's trying to bring into your life, the energies bring into your life. So with these various third house possibilities. But there's going to be some kind of opportunity for something new, Sometimes the eclipse, if it's hitting a planet, whatever that planet represents, could be eclipse out of your life, so it could be an ending. So there's certainly going to be some significant adjustments and changes with the third house. Learning, selling, communications. Now, decision-making Mercury is also in Aries from the end of March until May the 15th. That's a long time for decision-making Mercury to be in a sign, but it's going to be that long because the Mercury will go retrograde on April the 1st and remain in Aries retrograding until the 25th, at which point, April 25, the Mercury starts to move forwards with more clarity, more decisiveness, with these decisions that during the retrograde you were rethinking, revising. And so that Mercury in retrograde will be going forwards from April the 25th until May the 15th. So that Mercury is what is on your mind, what are you deciding upon, and it's all on that third house. Third house can mean many things. You could be deciding to go back to school. You could be deciding to write a book. You could be focusing on how to sell or how, going into a job or business in selling. That third house could be writing, speaking. So there's all this, it's a real intelligent communication, a house sector of ideas. And then with the Mercury in retrograde, and Mercury is Mercury is the natural ruler of the third house, because the third house is the house of communications. But Mercury is the planet of communications. In mythology, Mercury is the messenger god. So it's all about news and information and conversations and selling. But when it's retrograde, those first 25 days, you're reevaluating, you're rethinking, you're revising your goals and your expectations about third house matters. One basic example could be that you could be in classes in school, and then with Mercury in retrograde, you could be changing your mind. Or you could be in university, and with the Mercury in retrograde, you don't have to quit. You could be changing your major. Or you could be realizing this in April here, and that you want to go back to school, or you need more professional training, or you want to finally complete and get that degree. And with the Mercury in retrograde, it's all that revising and re-editing. One of the things with Mercury in retrograde you'll always hear about: don't sign contracts, don't make promises or commitments, because Mercury are your agreements and your expectations, but when it's retrograde, you don't have all the information, or you don't have all the correct information, because Mercury is about information. But when it's retrograde, there's not a lot of clarity, or you don't have all the information. So this is why you don't want to sign contracts and get locked in to some type of a commitment while Mercury's in retrograde, because later when it goes direct, you might regret it. Now, the Jupiter and Uranus in Taurus, it's going to be exact on April the 20th. But the whole world is going to be feeling it all of April, even into the first part of May. Jupiter is expansiveness, opportunity, and growth. When it aligns every 13 to 14 years with Uranus, Uranus is innovative, technological, progressive. The Jupiter-Uranus conjunction is in Taurus. Taurus is 4 signs past Aquarius. So this breakthrough, innovative, windfalls of opportunities for Aquarius rising, is focusing on 4th house matters. The 4th house, home, family, real estate. that Jupiter-Uranus could be these sudden changes in your living situation, or a desire to connect more deeply with family. It's the fourth house is home, family, and real estate. You may be really focused on home improvements, remodeling, or buying another home, or relocating. But that Jupiter-Uranus can be a windfall of luck and opportunities. It could be from selling a piece of property and getting a large profit. It could also be that there could be the generosity from family giving you financial support. Now, Mars is the ambitious warrior planet. Mars is ambitious and aggressive and assertive. It's a 2-year cycle, and Mars will be in Pisces all of April through the middle of May. When Mars is in Pisces, Pisces is the second sign past Aquarius. In basic astrology, the second sector, or the second house, deals with your personal income, deals with your possessions. It's all about finances. And here's Mars all this month, even into May, where you could be impulsive, assertive, taking more risks for financial negotiations. So with that Mars in the second of income, and the windfall of lucky opportunities with Jupiter-Uranus in the fourth, that could be real estate. And now the solar eclipse that could be impacting you for 6 months to a year is in your third house. That could be the third house of sales. You could be selling property. You could be a realtor and selling property. You could also be deciding to do renovations or complete remodel on your home. And with the third house could be all the meetings and discussions with a contractor, or with that Mars in the second house of being really assertive on how to increase your income. With that third house, you could be wanting to learn how to get new job skills to make more money, or how to, third house of sales, to make more money. And with the fourth house, doesn't have to necessarily be a property. It could be land, agriculture, home furnishings. Now, before I move on, this is part of the forecast where I like to examine how these planetary energies will impact your body, your relationships, your business. Now, all that third house emphasis rules the mind. And so there's a lot of restlessness, a lot of mental stimulation. You have to be careful that you're not tiring yourself out from all these decisions and learning and discussions. There's just a lot of mental burning activity. With relationships, I always look to Venus first. Venus, hadn't mentioned this yet, Venus, pleasurable, loving, compatible Venus, is also in Aries in your third house from April the 4th till April the 29th. Venus is what we value, what we love, what we appreciate. And in the third house, you could be having a lot of this charm, Venus, when selling. You could be really valuing and loving learning, or creative writing, or singing and acting, of the third house of communications. And Venus is all that creative energies. But when it comes to love, the third house with relationships deals with siblings or close neighbors. And because of the Venus, this could be kind of more friendly energies with siblings, maybe going on a trip, which is also the third house, deals with more weekend trips, short trips, domestic trips, and so could be a more camaraderie, a more healing with siblings, or just, as I said, doing something more pleasurable and entertaining with siblings, or a neighbor. You could have it in a house or an apartment building. You could finally meet and really enjoy a neighbor that's been there for years. Or you're moving into a new place because of the Jupiter-Uranus in the fourth, which could make changes in your living situation. And then all of a sudden, you have new neighbors. And with the Venus, you'll be enjoying your new neighbors. You will find the new neighbors are really friendly. And that could be very well starting with the Sun leaves Aries and goes into the fourth of family and real estate on the 19th of April. The Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, all this sudden luck and prosperity, on the 20th is in that fourth house. And when we're talking about business, that eclipse on the third house, you could certainly be with sales, with learning new job skills. But I didn't talk about there's going to be a full moon in Scorpio on April the 23rd. A regular full moon, well, if it's not regular, then it's a lunar eclipse, and a lunar eclipse is a full moon lunar eclipse. If it's impacting your horoscope, you could feel it for a month to 2 months. So it's also like a full moon on steroids. But for the rest of the year, and this April the 23rd, the full moon, the regular full moon, you may be only feeling kind of these emotions and reactions for a couple of days. But it's in Scorpio, and Scorpio is 10 signs past Aquarius. The full moon is revealing, it's bringing to light, it's bringing to a culmination, and it's in your career sector. Now, 2 weeks earlier, you're planting seeds with the new moon, but it's a solar eclipse that could be impacting you for 6 months to a year. That third house, you could be learning new job skills, so by 2 weeks later, you could be getting a new job. But that's doubtful that you're going to be learning new job skills and starting a new job in 2 weeks. But you could be the third house of meetings and interviews, and you could be interviewing for a new job that 2 weeks later you hear that you've gotten it, or you're beginning the new job around the 23rd, the 24th. So just looking at all of this, this is more focused on business, on property, on increasing your income, and you could also be personally moving, renovating. So there's certainly a lot of new energies that's trying to come in, going back to school, starting to write a book, getting more involved with sales, all around home, family, and real estate, and with the Mars, how to increase your income. I want to thank you for watching. If you'd like information on how to book an astrology reading or to check out my 2-question offer, visit my website at gardino.go, that's .co. Until next month, be safe and well.